So this is the equivalent of the difficulty of navigating the Hanuman key, because then you have to tune into the self so strong that the self actually listens to the monkey mind and the wisdom of the serpent at the same time. The monkey mind is erratic, it's sporadic, it's jumping all over the place, it's grabbing information from everywhere, out of the ethers, from under the dirt, from behind the couch, wherever the answer at, the monkey mind gonna find it. So this is the Hanuman key. That's why they say Hanuman never fails a task. No matter how menial or complex the task is, you get that task to the Hanuman, and the Hanuman never fails a task. So I use these keys when I get ready to go up for judgment. You make alliances. You make pacts along the way. And if people don't understand the process, even some of us who are masters in the game are still not all the way having total recall, where we understand the alliances made in the process cannot be broken, because that's the whole reason of making the alliance, to succeed. When you make an alliance, they give you keys to gates. In the old world, they called that the marrying of the royal families, the unifying of the royal families. And it's actually the earth rights, the women of the earth. And so the women of the earth have first claim of right to activate the highest forms of mysticism on the planet. So when you get to certain keys like the Solomon key, this is why they say Solomon had all of those wives. In order for Solomon to be seen as the wisest man in the world, he had to have the large reservoir of wisdom of women to draw from, because women is the source of wisdom. Men is the source of what you call linear intellectual data knowledge, left brain shit, where all of that other stuff comes right brain. That's that you get that from the woman. You don't get that from the man. So the last issues was a domestic violence issues on both sides of the spectrum, the male side of the spectrum and the female side of the spectrum, and it went all the way around the world. That issue came up many times, but it wasn't even in the top 10. Domestic violence was, so it was a big issue. If it was in the top 10, it was closer to 10 than it was to 5. So I know the biggest issue, the biggest complaint was worker suffrage world over, which is not a hard problem to fix. You can't fix the worker's problem without the worker knowing what he's worth. So, I, made some mention of some things during the UAW strikes with GM, Ford, and Chrysler, because the contracts are no good. But it don't even matter to me at this point. They on their own, because I offer my help and they spit in my face. So fuck them. I was told to pass it off to Brian Keller, and that's exactly what I did, because they seemed to be more receptive to him, and to give him the answers to the test for the UAW to get their shit. But they haven't used the answers, nor did Brian use them, and he's supposed to contact me to use them, but I don't give a fuck if he do or not. Doesn't matter to me. I don't work there no more. So being that I went all around the world and end back up in my house with the sheriffs coming to tell me that my dogs had jumped the fence, right? And we all know your dog is synonymous or a synonym for best friend, or that's what we call my dogs. This is for my dogs. This is for my dogs. It's a DMX flip. It's a Dark Man X, the unknown Dark Man. Who the fuck is he talking about? He's reflecting. It's a mirror. So, he also said the rat, the cat, the snake, and the dog, how you gonna see them when you living in the fog? What fog is he talking about? He ain't in London, so he not talking about London fog. It do get foggy in the colder states when the snow started to melt and precipitation builds up in the atmosphere that causes the cloud formation to be closer to the ground, and we call that fog. But he's talking about the mental fog. He got a song, remix song with Tupac, and he asked the question, how do you teach the mind? You can't. It's unruly. You have to harness the mind. You have to direct it. And you use the goodness in you to direct the mind in the direction it should go, as opposed to letting the mind corrupt the goodness in you by chasing after the pursuits of the flesh. Some of us are more interested, hey Tamiko, in the, some of us are more interested in the pursuit of the flesh than the development of our spirit body, our light body, our spirit self. What's going on, Wisdom Obi-Wan? Chicky Hershey, we getting in here, you know. So, this is, you know, if any of y'all watching, I would tell y'all to share, but my give a fuck meter don't move that high. I don't even care no more, you know. My Facebook, communication method is about to cease because it has to switch from media to public domain. You have to flip from these backdoor channels of social media, avoiding the eyes of the mainstreams of society while we get the goals accomplished of taking these tests. So while everybody looking at me, calling me fucking crazy, they don't know that I'm actually taking tests with every video I do, including this one. And this is the final test, which is actually the closing, the test on how to close the loop, how to get us out of this shit and get us in a position where we can use the position that I earned by taking all them fucking tests for a whole fucking year. Now, the reason why it's so difficult, you can't work, you can't like be in social settings. The energy moving through the body becomes so volatile. You don't want to be in a situation where a person misunderstands the passion that you download. While your soul burning and you trying to control that shit, you become volatile to those ignorant-minded people in society that want to shit on you. You know, so you become intolerant to that. You know, then you lose all interest in participating in bullshit, which converges now with the test-taking aspect. Like, I knew when I had got tired in the middle of the day to the point where I got to take a nap, that something was about to happen and I was about to get some information. And I told Portia, I said, I think that I'm about to get some downloads, and I hope whatever they is tell me to end this shit. So the message I got that tells me how to end it, is closing the Facebook. To close the Facebook, and I got 2 channels. I can use the back channel and still do other work for higher masters if necessary, but my main Facebook is to be deactivated, at least temporarily, until the switch takes place where we no longer operating in the physical, in the spiritual realms, in the emotional and the mental realms. Now, those 3 has been covered. So now the 2-ball cane has to flip it over to the four-corner shuffle. So now we take the spiritual, mental, and emotional and manifest it into the physical just by agreeing to close the page, to close the Facebook page. So that's what I'm being told. That's how to end this shit, is to close the Facebook page until the physical manifestation takes place, which I don't know how. It could be a day, it could be an hour, be fucking a month. I don't know. I don't like their timing. Their timing is unpredictable and irrational, and it don't always make sense. Isaiah, what up on Boss? Boy, we're going to get Chief. As soon as these motherfuckers get their head out their ass and stop playing, we're going to get Chief. We're going to get motherfucking Malik too. fuck that shit. Meaning them men done suffered enough trying to get you out of this motherfucking shit. All of us out this shit. And we from the pre-drawn conclusion that the society that's oppressing us can tell us who's a fucking criminal. And all of the motherfuckers that's running this bitch getting indicted like 90 fucking going north for corruption. And they told you that these men was evil men and you fell for that shit to leave them in prison all this time. It's like Malachi said about Mandela. The question he asked was, why is Mandela in prison for 27 years? And the answer to the question is real simple. Because Mandela people left him in prison for 27 years. There was not enough Europeans in South Africa to keep him in prison for 27 years without the it was not enough Europeans to keep him hostage and captive if the collective of South Africa would have unified under the Free Mandela banner and fucking went and got his ass, you know. But as we know, it's more than one way to bust a gats, one way to skin a cat around this motherfucker. So this is gonna be the Facebook sign off. And after this, I signed off once before. I didn't know they was giving me a so-called break. If I'd have known that that was the fucking break that week, I'd have just kept working. But after this, all my work gonna have to be done on the plane of things made manifest, so that other people can see that the path is not an unobtainable path. It's not an irrational path, and it's all based on how we see ourselves and what we know we already should be doing off the code of righteousness that we already supposed to follow in our heart if we about the right thing. Some people can't get unstuck from their wicked ways. They just can't get the hanks off of them. That little evil resentment in their heart that's like a piece of cancer seed that's eating their soul from the inside out. They can't escape that shit. So they have to deal with their own demons. Them not my demons. I fought, man, and won. So that was my Rihanna Eminem flip. Monsters, you know, get along with the monsters inside of my head. Right, so that's me. They know who all of the motherfucking dark forces in me know good and goddamn well they not finna overtake me, because I done already proved it to the dark forces that they not gonna overtake me. At the same time, these super ultra light motherfuckers, love and light ass motherfuckers keep forgetting that the love and light was born in the triple darkness of the noon. You can't escape that shit. The carbon, the 666, the melanin factor. You can't escape that. Now, once you understand that, then you don't hold animosity for the light shining in the dark, and you don't hold animosity for the dark being more pervasive than the light, because it was already here. Just like us being more pervasive than the settlers, because we was already here. In the right of the earth rights, there was a group of people that had not had a chance to rule. And then there was a group of people that was stronger than all of the rest of the people that knew the volatile nature. If you give these motherfuckers a chance to rule, it's going to take about 6,000 years to get these motherfuckers to the point where they don't like the wickedness, right? They fight against the wickedness just like we do. So then we have developed a new tribe that can operate from the code of righteousness and disregard the ego-struck oppressive mentality of white supremacy that was written by Moors, and they call it the protocols of the learned elders of Zion. That is your blueprint of white supremacy. It was written by Zionist Moors. They blame the white man all they want to. If you don't know who your fucking enemy is, you're going to blame whoever the old motherfucking enemy tell you your enemy is. Your enemy look like you. They got their ass kicked. In order to clean this shit up, we allow the motherfuckers that kick their ass a chance to rule so that they can get the dirt out of them by using the same shit that was used to oppress all of us. And we all understood this going into it, but a lot of us, our memories haven't come all the way back yet. So don't think if I'm not individually speaking to y'all that I'm not seeing y'all speaking, and when I'm just trying to get through this shit, because I'm so fed up and I'm so tired of the testing phase, and I'm ready to get me some R&R before I go into the action phase. Or as of right now, I was waiting. It was a week to the day. Every day that I had to wait, that gave me a week of downtime. I got 6 total days of weeks of downtime now where I don't gotta do shit. It don't mean I'm not. I don't have to. But there is certain things that can motivate me to come out of my seclusion and deal with shit. So I don't know how it's supposed to play out. I don't know how it's supposed to work, but I do know this. These motherfuckers' time is up. All these Moors that took our motherfucking headdress when they came over here had to surrender their fezzes for taking our headdress. That's what y'all not understand. This is what, if y'all Moor, this is what they're talking about when they say that George Washington said if he could take the fez off the Moors. Why would that matter? Because you wouldn't be able to tell a Moor from an indigenous of the land who look Moorish, but they're not the same. They don't have the same shit in their heart. You know, the indigenous people of this land was already here, and they was already of the righteous. You know, so people can say what they want. They can cut that shit up any way that they want to cut it up. Their time is up, and you're gonna see in short order, you're going to see governments making various announcements, and a lot of this shit going to be coming to the forefront that was being done behind the scenes so as not to create a mass panic. That's the hard part, and that's why they got to make me look like a lunatic while I take these tests. As long as I'm competent enough to pass the test, as long as I can see clear enough to pass the test, they will make me look like a buffoon to y'all who don't know what the test answers are. So if you don't know what the answer is, I look like a babbling goddamn lunatic sometimes. But the people that's grading the tests know the answers, so when the answer is in the code, they answer. You know, they give me more shit for the next test. I don't mean I'm good with this shit the way it is, because I ain't. Don't mean that it got to stay this way, because it don't. But I'm going to tell you this. If people don't realize that if they want the misery on earth to stop, they have to stop first doing dumb shit. And what I mean by that is stop avoiding doing what you already know you should be doing because it's the right thing to do. That's it. You don't have to do no fancy shit, no salat, all that some motherfucking. You don't have to go to church. This shit crazy. Hey, they at my head today. They don't want me to tell y'all nothing. They don't want me to pay. Y'all probably should share this. If they this serious about it, y'all probably should share the hell out of this one. I'm about to get heavy since they want to play games. Since they want to play games, they want to play these games. I can't believe they playing these shenanigans. Yeah, go down y'all whole thing sharing this. I can't believe they trying to stop this information. I'm going to get heavier then. Every time they check me out, I'm going to go harder. How y'all like that? Every time they try to shut me down, I'm going to go harder. So now, the mitochondrial response that you're looking for in a counterpart. Now, once you